How you doing, guys? This is Coach DeCarlo. This is a Facebook Live Monday. I was supposed to be on the road today, but I had a what I call an 8-hour code. Early this morning I had some cold symptoms, and I went through my regimen, and so most of those symptoms are gone. But like I said, I call mine the 8-hour code. I used to say that a cold lasted 7 days or so. Now I say I have a cold and it may last 8 hours. What will happen if I say a cold only lasts me a minute? Everything is in what we say. Today I want to talk about a subject: God amongst gods. You know, we're told in Psalms 82 that God resides over the congregation of gods, and he's in the midst of them passing judgment. And then it goes down to say on that same chapter, down in verse 6, that know you not that you are gods. Now, why do I bring this topic up? I've interacted with several people, over a course of time, with Neville principles and so forth. And everyone understands that everyone's yourself pushed out. But what we fail to also recognize is that we're somebody else's self pushed out. We're gods amongst gods. And a lot of times we get the premise of, I'm the only God. Well, you're the only God in your reality, but so is each and every person. So each and every person collectively is creating. So a lot of times, being gods, as it were, we begin to believe that we're going to control, the other person. But when you're operating with somebody that understands these principles as much as you, or even better, you're going to have a conflict, again, because you're dealing with gods amongst gods. One of the things that Mr. Lindo and I try to get you guys to understand is that it's about us creating our world by managing our thinking. Now, many of us, we get into these laws, these principles, in order to manage other people. And there's tools, you're going to probably be successful to a degree. But like I said, if you're dealing with other creators that understand that they're creators, you're going to get some pushback. You're going to have some conflict. Now, often I hear when we talk about everyone's yourself pushed out, and somebody says that they were dealing with abuse, and then everybody chats in and they say, well, what did you do to... No. If you're in a relationship that's destructive and not beneficial to you, being a creator, I suggest that you get out of it. Don't try to manipulate a abuser trying to wait till he becomes a lamb or she becomes a lamb. If you're dealing with a lion, you need to get out of the area of the lion. Otherwise, you're going to be eaten. Now, as gods amongst gods, you have to begin controlling your thinking, your feelings, your emotions. That's what puts you ahead of most people. You can revise, you can revision, and you can see things differently. All those things are wonderful. But the biggest thing that we're to learn as we're using these principles is to control our thinking and to manage our world. But like I said, I know that many of us get into these things almost like witchcraft and sorcery to manage other people. But if I'm, let's say hypothetically, making someone love me, is it truly love? The thing is, we have to have that within ourselves. I say it often, and I'll say it again. Your energy system. As an energy system, what are you transmitting? Many of us are not experiencing abundance, health, love, simply because we're not transmitting by way of our thoughts and our feelings, health, love, relationships, a good feeling, vibrations, as it were. Beach Boys had a song, good, good, good vibrations. A lot of times we're not sending out good vibrations, but yet we want to attract contrary. So we say money, for example, but the only thing that we're sending out is poverty vibrations. The only thing that we're sending out in our relationships, is anger, for example, or can't trust people. So of course we keep saying, well, I want to attract my specific person or whatever, but we're vibrating at a state much lower than necessary to attract that person. Now, so you'll come along and a teacher will say, well, I can help you manifest that person. Just think positively about, but yet you're still vibrating that negative energy. Even in science, we understand that likes attract and opposites repel. So you can't look on attracting money, the lottery, and any other kind of means, but you're vibrating from a place of poverty. You can't look at attracting health, for example, and the only thing you focus on, the only thing you talk about is sickness, lack, and disease. So, creators, what am I saying? You're a God amongst gods. And so, even as you're creating, so is each and every person around you. The key to your creation is getting into the vibrational state of what it is that you want to attract in your life. As you get into that vibrational state, you're going to become a magnet for money, for relationships, for better health, because you're not going to operate or stay in the state of the contrary. As we begin to vibrate, we begin to outpicture, output, manifest in our reality the things that we desire. But first and foremost, we have to find ourselves in state. We say, well, coach, how do I get into the state? When we're watching a good movie, we have no problem with getting in state. We'll sit there and we'll go from various emotions, say it's a love story. We find ourselves watching that movie, and when they're in those passionate scenes, we're in passion. When there's anger, we feel that anger in our spirit. So likewise, with the movie of your own imagination, you begin feeling, thinking, emoting what it is that you want. You say, well, coach, I've never experienced abundance. When you're looking at abundance, you start where you are. And what I mean by that, begin practicing gratitude on what you're experiencing at the moment. There's something, even if it's just waking up this morning, that you can be grateful for. As you begin seeking out things that you can be grateful for, you're going to find more things that you can be grateful for. And you just build upon gratitude. In relationships, start with loving yourself. Discover who you are. Even if you say, well, coach, there's nothing in me that's worthy of love. Not so, but start with God in you. If you're living, breathing, and existing, you already know that God's in you, because apart from him, we can do nothing. That's literally true. God's spirit in us is the hope of glory. So everything that we do is because the divine, whatever you call that spirit, is within you now. So begin loving on that. Once you begin loving on God's spirit, you'll realize that that spirit is a part of yourself. Begin loving that. But as you begin to operate from a place of love, what you're going to discover is that more people are loving you. Many of us are seeking love, but we don't have a love image or love self-image of ourselves. So when we think about ourselves, we think about everything that's wrong with us, and then we want somebody to be attracted to. Say, now look how bad this picture is, but I want you to like the picture. It's not going to happen. If you don't come to the party with your own love, when I was growing up, they would say, when you go to a party, bring your own bottle. When you're talking about love, bring your own love first. It says, Hear, O Israel, the Lord thy God is one. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, and your mind. And you shall love your neighbor as yourself. So you have to have a love for self before you can begin attracting love to you. Look at your health. Are you continuously bad-mouthing yourself, creator, about your health? How bad you feel and how, each day you seem to be getting worse and worse? What you're doing is programming your body to stay in a place of illness. But if you can say, today I'm feeling, even if it's just a little bit better, or, I got up, and you celebrated getting up and doing something that you knew that needed to be accomplished. You celebrate those things. But if we keep doing what we've always done, we're going to keep reproducing what we've always gotten. Creators, you're gods amongst gods. So when you're interacting with other people, you do it in a loving way. Not that I'm the only God and they need to listen to what it is that I'm saying. Me, for example, I know that I'm a creator. So if we're interacting, if you come to me like I'm the only God and you must do what I'm saying, I'm going to say good luck with that and I'll see you later. I'm not going to interact with you much because I realize that we're all God's creating. And honoring you creating and honoring me creating, we can come together and we can create something wonderful. But if we always find ourselves from a place of offense as gods, then only thing that you're going to find is more offense. Don't look for opportunities to be offended, creators. Look for opportunities to be uplifted and to uplift others. You're a powerful creator amongst creators. The benefit that you have is that most people, 99% of the world's population, if not greater, don't understand this. There's very few people that understand outside of our community the teachings of Neville. And so even when you begin to impart these teachings to your family, they find themselves in a place of, what are you talking about? You must be crazy. They don't believe what you're saying because, to me, I didn't believe. Somebody told me years ago, DeCarlo, you should be mindful of the words that you say because you're going to create them. And I said, you mean that God can't tell the difference of when I'm joking and when I'm being serious? And Subconscious mind does not have a filter. So when you say, I feel sick, wink, wink, I'm joking, subconscious mind says, I'm sick. So we have to be mindful of what we're out picturing in our reality, because the world that we're living in truly is ourselves pushed out. But understand, you're also somebody's self pushed out. We're all a part of this thing called God. There's only God. And so when I say that there's only God, there's one creator. We make up the one creator. We're not individually in and of ourselves, because what you're going to find, whether you recognize it or not, when you transcend this realm called reality, the dream still goes on. And there's going to still be 8 billion people dreaming in this realm of reality apart from you, in spite of you. So the world doesn't stop because we no longer exist in it. I only cease to be in this realm of reality, but the realm of reality at this current state continues on. Creators, you're a very powerful being. And what I'm asking you to do is to be mindful of your creations. Think about those other creators around you and think, how can I act as a conduit of God's blessing? How can I do it in health, in love, in finances? And as you begin to find a way to serve the gods amongst gods, they're going to find a way to benefit you as well. But if you of the egocentric mind that says, I'm the only God and everybody must obey me, you're going to find yourself living a very frustrated life. We're all collectively God's creating. And what I'm asking each and every one of you to do is to honor the gods, namaste, in each one of the people that you deal with as gods. This is Coach DeCarlo saying have a great and abundant day.